Greetings, welcome to the December 2023 edition of the Fraser Valley Presale Pulse, bringing you the latest real estate intelligence on the Valley's presale and resale marketplace over the past 30 days. I'm Susanna Gonsalves.
And I'm Brittany Reimer, and today we're thrilled to be at Lodana by Circadian Group, their sales gallery here in West Coquitlam. You know, Santa says that just under 2 weeks following the official launch, Phase 1 has already achieved a remarkable milestone of 50% of its units sold. Now, I understand the Lodana sales team has been witnessing sustained enthusiasm and a lot of interest from realtors and home buyers. Now, what a gift, if you know what I mean.
Yes, very excited to see the continued success in the West Coquitlam market. And indeed, it has a nice holiday feel, doesn't it? All right, Britt. Let's get into the pre-sale market.
Let's get into it. So there has been some activity. We saw 7 launches in November, which has brought a little bit of everything into the market. We saw a concrete tower, some wood frame townhomes, and some condos. That sounds like a Christmas jingle of its own.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tougher market these days given market seasonality and higher costs of borrowing, but have there been any launches that really stand out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are always launches that stand out, but during the last pre-sale pulse, we talked about the success at Highstreet Village with their 3rd building and the deposit structure that essentially removed that barrier to entry for buyers. We are seeing the same trend on other programs now as well. We're back to talk about the continued success at Highstreet. Highstreet Village recently released their 4th building to VIP registrants, and the demand continued, which is really great to see for the Abbotsford market.
And I heard they received close to 100 suite request forms for the 65 units in Building 4. These homes have been flying off the shelves, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you remove that barrier to entry and that deposit, it makes sense.
Especially in times like these when the market's a bit sluggish, buyers are taking their time to consider their options and want to make sure they're getting the best value for their money. Now, personally, I find it quite appealing that you can secure a place in a master plan community for a cost lower than what it would take to invest in a standalone building elsewhere, like in Langley or Surrey.
Yeah, it just adds to that value proposition piece that we touched on.
Now, the connections with realtors also played a big role in Highstreet's success. Many of them were already well acquainted with the project through previous sales and have evolved into strong advocates for the development.
Now let's move on to other projects, Suze. Now, Walnut Park by Quadra Homes launched in the Langley market right at the beginning of December. What a time to launch a project. Now, we're hearing through the grapevines that they've actually got 50 firm deals and 23 homes in rescission. We expect that they now are at about 70 deals locked in. Now, that is a really, really strong start and at a relatively strong price point at $880 for price per square foot. Again, what's setting them apart is the 5% deposit, while posing a risk to the development partner is a huge advantage for any of those buyers, investors, first-time buyers wanting to engage in this market.
Yeah, I think that's a really good reminder. Obviously, in these tough times, you've said it a few times now, removing that barrier of entry, that perceived value, and those relationships really playing a vital role in the success of these projects.
Absolutely. So let's move on to our next project, which is SkyLiving by Allure Ventures. Now, SkyLiving is bringing a total of 375 homes into the Surrey City core. It will be offering a wide variety of homes from studios all the way to 3-bedroom plus dens. They'll also be offering townhomes for those that are looking for a little bit more space with a city lifestyle.
Now, it's been at least a few months since a concrete tower has launched in Surrey.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of concrete in the Fraser Valley at all. Now, Allure took some time to prospect and really try to gauge their customer interest before they actually came to the market. They began quietly previewing back in September. They didn't begin sales until technically mid-November, and with no other concrete towers, really limited Sequoia, Lucent, they're really running out of inventory at this point. It makes sense that they were the, resort style amenity offering choice for buyers.
Yeah, now their floor plans, they're offering some really very compact plans, particularly for their 2 bedrooms. There's quite a few 2-bed, 2-bath homes, well under 700 square feet.
Yeah, good unit mix. It's hard to tell without the exact dimensions, but what we're really liking about these smaller 2-bedroom compact homes is that both bedrooms actually do function. And I'd say you could fit probably a double or a queen size bed into that 2nd bedroom, which is, I don't know, you can't find that really anywhere in this marketplace.
And with some decent sized closets, that's always a plus as well. Yeah. Now, since their launch in November, SkyLiving is marketing that they have sold out of their entire first phase, which has been stated to be around 100 units.
Yeah. I mean, purchasers have reported that there's a mix of investors and end users in the project. No surprise with the future UBC campus. And phase 2, I expect, will come sometime in spring 2024.
Now, speaking of a 2024 release, let's move on to our next project, Piano by Concord Pacific. I feel like this one has been a project that many have been eagerly awaiting for some time now.
Yeah, they've been waiting patiently. They originally anticipated to launch back in 2022. They ended up holding. No surprise there. They had a redesign. They had some floor plan feedback, and it seems that many of the original plans were actually quite large, since concrete product usually is priced at a premium. Those numbers just weren't working and were not feasible to come to market in the Surrey city core.
Yeah, so they've definitely done an overhaul, and they've managed to fit a lot into a small amount of space. We just talked about SkyLiving having a 2-bed, 2-bath under 700 square feet. At Piano, they've done a junior 2-bed, 2-bath that's only 552 square feet.
I love that. The only pushback that I see them having is the fact that you have to enter the bedroom in order to access either one of the bathrooms. So quite unique, but at the end of the day, it's a small price to pay for such a compact plan that I think is going to add a lot of value for those buyers.
Yeah, definitely some pros and cons there. Now, either way, I believe revamping their plans was the right move. They're now able to offer more affordable options in terms of overall pricing and appeal to a larger demographic of buyers.
And we know they're originally chasing mid-1200s for their price per square foot, so let's hope that these smaller unit plans move the needle a bit there.
Yeah, and before we move on, can we just quickly discuss the Barbie Dream Condo event?
I know, that looked like quite the event. Unfortunately, I was not invited to it, so I know, but it was certainly, in line with the trending pop culture and added a twist to their event, and obviously just their presence on social media. So we always love a good social media campaign.
Yeah, well played to them.
All right, now let's move on to the resale stats. Sales activity continues to decrease for the month of November with 891 sales. We saw an 8% decrease from the previous month, but still 13.8% higher year over year. It's worth mentioning that even with the increase, the November stats actually marks the second lowest November in terms of sales activity within the past decade.
Yeah, that's right, Britt. We're currently at 30% below our 10-year seasonal average for sales activity.
Yeah, we know with the market, factors, the season factors into the slowdown seen in November compared to other months. However, when you compare those numbers to the seasonal averages, I think it becomes really clear that the consequences of the interest rate hike back in June and July are still playing a factor in the market. Buyers are still waiting on the sidelines and waiting for those favorable conditions before acting.
Yeah, agreed. And given how strong the run-up was in the Valley for a time there, we were breaking records on sales activities. It's not unusual to see this kind of slowdown as everyone settles, catches their breath, waits to see how the economy shifts before getting back into the market. Now, how is it looking on the supply side?
Yeah, so on the supply side, we did see a total of just over 6,000 listings for the month of November, which is a 5% decrease from October and a 17% increase year over year. Of those listings, 2,000 of them were new in the month of November, which is 20% less than what we had seen in October.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about that 20% decrease. That's likely attributed to market seasonality and homeowners not wanting to sell during the holidays.
100% agree with you on that one. If you look at even the 10-year average for new listings in November, it's actually around 1,700, which means we're still 16% above what is normally expected in November.
Okay, last but not least, pricing.
Most important. So prices are continuing to reflect the slowdown in sales. So no surprise there. They've continued to decrease for the third month in a row, something we're really closely watching as we head into next year. Now, the benchmark price for all product types is currently sitting at $997,000, which is 1.1% decline compared to October. So we're trending that way, but again, season trends, it makes sense.
Yeah, and primarily driven due to the single family and townhouse markets, because the condo market's actually been fairly stable, decreasing at just 0.2%.
Yeah, so overall still seeing benchmark values at 16% below the peak pricing seen in March of 2022 and 3.2% year over year. So it's still positive as we head into 2024.
Yeah, well, Brett, I believe that wraps us up at the last edition of the Fraser Valley Presale Pulse in 2023. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and Newswire, our daily email newsletter providing you with the latest real estate news. We want you to stay informed and real estate intelligent.
Thank you so much for joining us in the Lodana Sales Gallery, and for all of the viewers that have been following us in the last 12 months. We wish to see you in 2024. Happy holidays and all the best.